Hello, Evalvasigo community.
As you know, we are here to help you navigate change, and what better way to do that than to invite an inspiring guest to share their story with you.
So I'm so excited because today we have Paul Marlow with us.
And we
Hi.
always do a lot of the talking, so today we are going to have Paul do most of the talking. So Paul, I hope you're ready for this.
Kim, Kristine, I am. Thank you for having me. Let's make this happen.
All right, so Paul, why don't you start off by talking to our audience and talking a little bit about who you are and what you do.
As you said, my name is Paul Marlow. Most people know me online and in person as Tall Paul. I am 6'7", so it kind of, my parents, gave me the name, gave me the height, and it rhymes, so it stuck since I was like 12. But what I do is I talk about mental health. Really, that's my main focus these days. And why that happened is because I went through some mental health struggles in the last 3 years due to a relationship situation that I'd never been in before. And then also at the same time, my father being diagnosed with Parkinson's disease and then essentially dying from cancer. And everything hit me a lot harder than I thought it would. And I got some serious depression, anxiety, had a mental health breakdown, stopped working, you name it. I wasn't happy for 2 years of my life, legit, like no joy. It was a really weird time. So I just started trying to find my way out of it. And at that same time, I started trying to find my way out of it. I decided to start sharing what I was feeling and how I was finding my way out to social media. And it turned into me creating a business called Never Alone, where my main focus is to help people feel confident in themselves, talking about their situation, feel confident in finding help, and inspiring them to find help and realize that things can change and get for the better.
That's amazing. So many people suffer from mental health, right? Like I have anxiety disorder, my daughter has it and stuff. What do you do to keep yourself in a positive mental space?
First off, I'm gonna say I have never been actually diagnosed with anything.
Okay.
Things have happened. I've had therapists say, you check off the boxes for this, you have this. So I really going to a doctor and I'm saying, this is what you have, hasn't happened in my life. Not saying that I don't have it. And I think that is a big thing out there. What people are like, well, I haven't been diagnosed, so I don't have it. No, if you're feeling down for 3 weeks and things aren't happening, most likely something is going on. Doesn't mean your life is ruined, but it means you can start doing something to better yourself. I think that's one thing we need to change. Trying to think about what you said, how do I keep myself online? The thing is, you don't. It's a nice edge. You're sitting here and one day you're great and the next day you could be over there. But that's where it comes into understanding who you are, what you interact with food, with fitness, with journaling and thinking kind of outside the box. Is like, if I had a bad sleep last night, was it because I watched TV for 4 hours and the blue light messed with my sleep? Was I on my phone and did I get anxiety because someone was attacking me online? Was, these things, did I eat this high sugar, high carb thing at night and I wasn't able to digest it? So I sleep and my gut gave me some weird feelings throughout. Like a lot of these things, you just have to kind of think outside the box and be like, well, maybe I need to change this or adapt and grow.
Awesome.
Hope that answered that.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
It was awesome. Thank you.
A lot of people who start struggling with their mental health, they seek solutions and they start trying to fix things and make themselves feel better. Not a lot of people take all their knowledge and decide to funnel it into a business. What
Mm-hmm.
do you start to decide to actually take everything that you learned and channel it into starting a business?
That was probably after I started sharing, like my first post was on Instagram stories and it was probably like 2 months after my dad died. And I was like crying in my room, sad, which is normal. And I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna go on Instagram stories and share this right now of me crying, of like posting it, not fake crying, but like at the moment, this is it, this is what's happening. And that was kind of like the first thing. I'm like, whoa, like I did that, nothing bad happened. 6 to 8 months later, I kept those things up, not sad, but good, positive. Everything was essentially just in my social media, on my Instagram stories. And by that time, I had people like DMing me, like, thank you for sharing that story. Thank you for sharing that insight on fitness or eating. I tried and it helped me. Thank you for this. I'm like, there's something here. I also was I was failing at growing my personal training business. First of all, because I didn't even know how to grow it and I didn't know how to work hard at it. So I'm like, well, there's something here and I have passion towards it. Why can't I help more people by creating content and learning how to use the online world better to get in front of their eyes? But at the same time, if I do this, I need to keep my lights on. And I know how long it takes to create content. And I know how much money I have to put into, say, creating a good blog post cost me about $300 just to get it made and done properly. If I can't keep my lights on, if I can't make money off this, is it going to be something smart for me to do? No, I'll be living with my mom till I'm 75 because she's going to be the one affording to give me food. So I thought, why does mental health have to be something where everything's for free? Can't I create a business that helps people, inspires me? And at the same time, I give myself a living wage. I'm not doing this to take all the money made from every hoodie sale and anything in the future. I don't want to do that. If my brand and who I am grow outside of that and I create an income on the side from it, then that's a positive thing that I can use to help grow it. That is where I kind of started thinking about business side.
That's awesome. So starting your own business, we all know it takes so much courage, right? And it's a lot of hard work, like you said. But did you ever experience self-doubt during your road to success? And if yes, how do you overcome it?
Yes, I definitely did. But it was a very good time to have self-doubt because at the same time, I had self-doubt in my own mental health. I had self-doubt in why did my dad die? Why did I go through that situation with my ex? Like all these things, my life was at a kind of a low point. So self-doubt wasn't actually scary at that time because it was like everything else was far worse than my self-doubt about growing a business. So if the business fails and my plan fails, who cares? Because it's not going to hurt as bad as this. So in the 31 years leading up to it, my self-doubt stopped me and I wasn't able to overcome that, achieve it. So like that, it owned me then and it didn't allow me to become a business owner. During this time, my anxiety and depression actually was an aid because it was far worse than the feeling of failing my business.
That's pretty amazing how you can kind of say, okay, what have I got left to lose, and just go for it and give it your all. Now, what was the moment where you realized, oh geez, like this is actually taking off. This is starting to be something. I can make a living off of this.
I haven't hit that. I can't. I don't know if I can make a living off this. Essentially, no. Like I'm 4 months at the recording of this. I'm 4 months and like 6 days into the launch of the site. Throughout the times, it's like, yeah, there's people here, and the site launch, which was a scary thing because it was 15 months in the making of the clothing, the site, and everything to build up. And it was like, is someone gonna buy? And then like I had 7,000 in sales in the first day. I'm like, heck yes, I did it. And that was just me DMing people that had been following me and said, I want to, because I told the whole story of how I'm creating the hoodie. And it was 15 months of like, this messed up. I found this out. I found this person helped me. I messed that up. I went through the hoodie, doesn't fit. I have to redo this. And like, I showed the whole story plus the mental health side. So it really connected with people. So I made that sale. But I mean, honest, like, so that was the first month. Last month I had like $500 in sales. So there we go. However, it's also 4 months into it. My website gets no traction organically. I'm creating content just hopefully for the next 6 months, the next year and a half, doing these conversations. The thing that does give me faith is you reaching out to me and saying, I like your story. I want to talk about it. I posted a thing on Instagram last night, and I think I've had like 50 people write legit answers, paragraph answer comments to it. And as you know, on social media, to get someone to actually reply with, "This is my story. I like what you said. Thank you so much for this. Da 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 da." Instead of like, "Awesome, thumbs up," or a heart or a smiley face.
Yeah.
50 people gave a legit answer. I replied, they replied, someone replied to them. It's like, there is something here. There is something here. Am I going to make money from it? I don't know. But that's also why I'm taking what I learned from creating this. And I've started, actually, I just got my second client in essentially social media management, to put it onto other people so I can inject that money into Never Alone if Never Alone isn't creating enough money by itself.
That's amazing. You definitely know you got people when they start writing, right? Like,
yeah, it's hard. It's not
the best
easy.
sign. Yeah. That they're there, and they're there for you because they take the time, the commitment to go personal on those subjects, which is pretty amazing. What's the biggest lesson you have learned about yourself through this process?
Oh, the biggest thing is I used to think I knew everything, like everything. That's why I didn't grow. I wouldn't listen to people who knew more than me. I wouldn't ask people who knew more than me how to get where they are. I wasn't humble. I'm still not humble. I'll still like be egotistic at times for sure. But in an area I know I'm not great at, I'm willing to go out there and be like, hey, this is my thing, it's my situation. What can we do? Yeah, and it's helped me a lot.
Now, if you were to do this all over again, going through the process of starting Never Alone, what would you do differently?
I would create the website and the blog and the content far prior to creating any piece of clothing to find a source of income to pay for things. Really, like, all I knew at the time was I wanted something to be a piece out there, not for money, but this clothing, the fashion, I think brings in the regular person who doesn't think they have mental health issues, even though they have some anxiety, depression, but for them it's just regular life and they haven't been diagnosed yet. So that's why I wanted a clothing, a fashion piece to go in there, and it can connect two worlds and bring it together and normalize things. I also needed it for me because I'd been blogging before and it kind of failed because I didn't really have an idea what to do. So I needed something to back onto it, so I could at least feel like I'm trying to grow somewhere, and then the blog will hopefully be something else. So just essentially for me in this realm, I'm realizing that right now my content is what's getting people's attention and what's growing it. So if I didn't have to spend $15,000 into getting my hoodies made and everything like that, I wouldn't do it again at this time.
So you're basically selling your business, like people are buying you.
Yeah, definitely. The hoodies are like a side piece. They're really like I am, and I'm happy to be the brand, and I believe I am what they're essentially buying first. I believe secondly, they're buying the stories that I'm creating, getting other people to share. And thirdly, they're buying the hoodie. But however, when they do get the hoodie, I'm getting great reviews on the make, the feel. Like I really am. It's not a piece of merch.
Yeah.
It is a fashion piece, which people are happy to wear, looking to pair it with other items I'm seeing, and it's comfortable and it's durable. So I am happy once they get it. But I do realize that like they're not coming to me for a piece of clothing first and then mental health second. Let's be honest, at this time.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you say your business changed your life? Because it's such a big step in life, right? It's such a big endeavor to start.
Confidence that I can do anything. That's it.
That's super powerful. Like, think about it. Confidence. I
Yeah.
can do anything. If more people, we're realizing their strength and what they can do, this world will be much different than what it is.
Yeah. No, that's it.
And where do you see yourself in your business kind of in the future? Like, let's say maybe, I know 5 years is like a while away, but like about 5 years, 10 years down the road.
I Never Alone, I see many different paths for it. I've always been a fashion guy. I've wanted to, like, I'm a tall guy and it's hard for me to find clothing. And for some reason, like I wanted to jump into the area, even though it's an extremely stupid idea because getting to fashion is just one of the dumbest things ever. But in my mind, for business wise, because it's extremely hard. But I do want fashion, and I want the Never Alone brand to have its own clothing line, which would be, you know, styles like this, streetwear, but also fitness clothing. Because I do want Never Alone to have its own fitness area to help people understand that fitness is an essential part for mental health. Your physical health can be your backbone, your cornerstone from it. So I see it being a whole entity of things, Never Alone brand, with its own app where you can get fitness workouts, you can get meditation, you can get guided journaling, really bringing the whole society into one place where they don't have to feel like they have a mental health struggle, but they can learn something from someone. So in case they do comes up and work makes them stressed out, or another pandemic happens and they start feeling these things of anxiety, depression, they can be like, oh, I'm already in a community that I didn't come for the mental health. I came for the general personal growth. I have this mental health aspect around beside it. And then the clothing and the fashion brings really other people in, and just kind of, it gets it seen by more than the mental health community, which I find is a little too niched at times. It's really hard to get it out there in the general public.
Well, one thing I really like about what you said is, you know, the old fitness. So we know taking care of your body, taking your mind and everything. But just a side thing is, like you said, it's just a sweater. But when your mood is down, when you're in a dark place, there's nothing more comfortable than being in something you feel good in, you feel safe, and you feel you look good. Like, as much as it sounds like a piece of clothing, it's just so much more than that, and it can have such an impact on people when you're in a dark place, right? So kudos to you. It's amazing. You're truly amazing. Like, I'm so glad we had you today, and you know, we will follow you absolutely, and I'm so excited to see where you go with this business, because we need more of you in this world, first, that is honest about, you know, what's happening. Still these days I feel it's like a secret. People don't want to talk about it, which is really sad. So we need more people like you that, you know what, are not scared to talk about it and make the best out of it, and also support each other. And you're right, the pandemic has affected a lot of people deeply on that level. If you already were struggling, do you feel it had an impact on you?
Yeah, for sure, for the sake of, well, yeah, many ways it's definitely had an impact on me. I'm living at home. I was living home already. I'm be living home longer due to the pandemic and what it did. It put a $15,000 tab on my company, which I didn't think I'd have before. So that changed everything. And my plan has been to kind of go online and travel the world and run this while I'm doing that. Well, that's kind of changed things. So I had plans these last 4 months, and they were kind of my goals and making me excited. And with the whole anxiety and depression, I used to have these plans and goals for the first 30 years of my life, but I had goals, but I never planned. So I would just like say something, and then 5 months later it wouldn't happen because I had no idea how to get there. And that would bring on anxiety and depression. Like, I failed again, I failed again, I failed again. And now it's, I have goals, and I learned how to make plans to make it happen, like creating this business. So this was my next goal and plan, was to take it so I could go online and live somewhere else in the world and run it. So I haven't failed. There's been stuff around here that is secondary, but at the same time, you know, it's hard to get back to my old feeling of, shit, I'm failing again.
Well, you're welcome in Ottawa anytime. So
I was hoping to get away from Canada. I was hoping to get away a little more warm, but yeah.
Thank you for sharing your story with us and joining us today. It is really awesome that you can actually dedicate your time to sharing your story to a whole bunch of people, and really sharing what life is like behind the curtain as an entrepreneur, because a lot of people see your success and they think, oh my goodness, this is amazing, I could never do this. And by putting the human in and saying, yes, you can, if you make goals, if you make plans, if you have that passion and that purpose. It might not be like a straight trajectory, but there is a way that you can figure out a way to make it happen. So that's been, I think, one of the biggest things that I've taken away from our experience today. And I just want to remind our viewers that if you want to follow Paul's journey, if you want to check out his business, if you want to buy one of those really comfy shirts that he's wearing,
That's what I was waiting for. Yeah.
all of the details are going to be in the description box below. Because we want to support you and your business, we would love to buy a sweater, and it will be available to win. So you will have to check out the details.
Awesome.
The details are going to be in the description box below as well. So feel free to check that out, because you know, it's comfy, and who wouldn't want a sweater, and who wouldn't want to support mental health?
Amazing.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
So we encourage everybody to comment below. Tell us how you feel. You know, we'll share with Paul everything we get, all the comments, the, you know, the good vibe. And if our viewer know any other inspiring entrepreneur like Paul, please let us know. Go at kimandkristinecoaching@gmail.com. Send us name, and we are always excited to bring you quality entrepreneur and inspiring people just like Paul. So thank you, Paul, for being here today.
K&K, thank you so much for having me today.
And we just want to remind you that if you love these videos and if you want to see more people on our channel, please subscribe so you can get more of this amazing content.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you again.
You're welcome. And we'll see all of you in our next video.